This week's episode is brought to you by Tyler Perry's Sisters on BET.
Next Wednesday on BET.
You were raped.
I don't want to talk about it.
We cannot let him get away with this.
Did you see Sabrina?
It was heartbreaking.
I will be handling Sabrina's responsibilities.
There's nothing more dangerous
My car was blown up. It was Dr. Cruz.
Riff had something to do with that?
than the truth.
Women, we got so much that we have no control over.
I'm so sorry I didn't protect you.
Promise to be careful.
Keep your head on a swivel, Miss Barnes. There's a target on your back.
Tyler Perry's Sisters. All new next Wednesday at 9. Watch it live on BET.
Calling all my sweeties to the forefront. I'm your host, Renee Hayslett, and this is the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. Welcome to Keep It Positive Sweetie, the place where we heal, grow, and learn together. Today's guest is founder, media executive, and the visionary behind Fashion Bomb Daily, Claire Sulmers. Claire Sulmers is the visionary behind Fashion Bomb Daily, a platform she built long before digital media became mainstream. Today's conversation is about longevity, leadership, and the quiet discipline required to evolving and staying true to your vision. Kiyoselli, please give a very warm welcome to Claire Sulmers. Claire, we finally got you here. You're looking fabulous.
Thank
It's
you.
giving a bomb, honey.
Thank you.
You look
take off
good.
my glasses because I
mean, you really could have kept them on because it was giving the whole look. I love it. I missed the shoes.
Yes.
Oh, honey. Listen.
I oiled up my legs, but I try not to do it too much because I had this incident on Tierman Hall's show because it's like, you don't want to be ashy on national TV.
Yes.
But I definitely overdid it and I looked like a greased ham. And all everybody in my family could talk about was how my legs were so shiny. So I tried to tone it
Well, they
down.
look good. Okay. What did you use?
I use this Vaseline oil sheen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to get that because that looks good.
Thank you.
Yes, you got some nice legs. All right, get them insured, girl. Get the legs insured. So, Claire, you are actually a native of Atlanta, Georgia. I had no idea.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn.
Okay,
actually.
that's how you got back to.
Yeah,
New York.
I was raised in Atlanta, so I moved here in 1990. I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And went to high school, junior high, everything here.
Yes.
So raised in old Atlanta.
Because it's new now.
It's new now.
Everybody who was here back then is always like, man, old Atlanta is way better than this new Atlanta.
It was just different, man. Like Buckhead and going to Lenox Mall and Freaknik. I mean, I was too young for Freaknik.
I was too young too, but yes, I heard stories and seen footage.
But we had to drive through Freaknik going home from school, and I was just like,
wow.
It was something to behold. It was just different. And this was Atlanta, obviously before reality TV, before the Housewives. So it was just I remember going to Lenox Mall, seeing Usher be shopping at Foot Locker.
Wow.
TLC would just be shopping. Jermaine Dupri, they would just be, hanging out with us. And it was just different.
Yeah.
It was just a cool time.
A different time. I love that.
What a time to be alive.
It was. Man, I've heard the stories. I'm like, dang. I got here towards the end of that era where I feel like the new Atlanta started to creep in around the time I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. Yeah. But you have a degree in Romance Languages and Literatures and African American Studies from Harvard University. First of all, how did we get so you're from Brooklyn, Atlanta to Harvard? Because you don't hear that a lot, especially in our community. So I would love to know how you got there and what that journey was like for you.
Yeah, so my mom is a teacher.
Okay.
And she had me and my brother reading since we were 3 years old.
Wow.
And it was really kind of the culture of our house, reading every book you could put your hands on, writing. And she was always very insistent on us going to the best schools. So I went to the Westminster Schools of Atlanta here. And I just remember, in junior high school, I was kind of joking around all the time. We were doing dances in the bathroom. If TikTok were out, we would have been TikTok stars for sure. But I just remember we had this ceremony and people were getting certificates to be on because they made the honor roll. They got good grades.
Yeah.
And all these kids got called up and there was one black kid. It was a majority white school.
Right.
And only one Black girl, made honor roll, and me and my friends, we were just laughing in the crowd. And one of them was like, I don't care about honor roll. I'll never be on honor roll. But for me, I was like, something clicked where I was like, I want to be up there. I'm not okay in general in life with not being exceptional. And so I just decided that I was going to make honor roll, and I went for it. And so every year I made honor roll. I was in all the AP classes, all the honor classes. But I didn't ever think of going to Harvard. I think now people are more aware maybe, but I never thought of going to an Ivy League school.
Wow.
It's really my brother who is actually the true smarty pants in our family. And it's interesting because I was just spending the weekend with my family here. And he picked me up. He's using all these SAT words. We go home. He's playing classical music on the piano. And because I've been away from it for so long, I didn't realize this man is a genius.
Wow.
My brother is a freaking genius. And he has me as a little sister. And I'm kind of like always dancing and singing and, not as serious. But it was my brother who first went to Harvard.
Wow.
And he was like, you should apply to Harvard. I was very active in school. I, did well in terms of my grades. I was getting A's and B's. And then I was tennis team, cheerleader, track. I played the viola. I was French club. I was just very involved.
Yeah.
And my brother was like, I wanted to go to Columbia. I just wanted to move to New York. But my brother was like...
Which is a great school as well.
It is a great school. I applied to all the schools. I didn't want to be in Atlanta, but applied to all the schools. And my brother was like, you should apply to Harvard. You should apply early admission. He read over my essay. He recommended I do an extra credit essay, which I did. I went and I met with the regional admissions director for the South. And I got in early.
Wow.
And I said yes.
Oh, my goodness. So I can only imagine what it's like to go to school at Harvard. What was that experience like for you? You're coming out from Atlanta, going to Harvard. Like, what was that like?
It was very interesting. It was a lot of imposter syndrome.
I can imagine, yeah.
Because the kids in my class, these are kids who spoke at the Million Man March. They're the salutatorian and valedictorian of their high schools. I was none of that. I was just a girl who did well in school. I went to a great school, but I was not particularly, I was in valedictorian of my school. I definitely wasn't the smartest. And so just coming to terms with I deserve to be here, it really took me a really long time to understand why they said yes to me. And then, coming from the South, I'm here smiling and happy. I'm like, hey! And they're just like,
right.
And people you can meet the night before, they won't talk, they'll literally look right through you the next day. And so it's just like a Northern thing,
Yeah.
I think. That it took me a little while to get used to that. And the weather, of course, the snow days, you can get snow up to your waist and they're still having class.
You're like, oh, snow day. They're like, no.
No, in Atlanta, you have a little dust of snow. They'll be like, everything's shut down.
Literally shut the city down.
Yeah, but those were just a few things, but I can say that it was a really unique experience. I have some of the best friends I've ever made from going to Harvard. I think that's one of the amazing things about going there, aside from an amazing education, an amazing alumni network, and I know I have that work ethic.
Yes.
Because of Harvard.
Yeah, I love that. Speaking of work ethic, you launched Fashion Bomb Daily in 2006. Yeah. This is a time when digital platform was still finding its footing. You were really ahead of your time. What sparked that and made you say, hey, going from Harvard, because you did not study fashion.
I did not study fashion, y'all. They do not have a fashion major at Harvard. Okay. It just doesn't.
Yes.
No.
So where did that come from?
I've always loved to shop. I've always loved to write. My mother sewed clothes for me growing up. My grandfather was a master tailor in Nassau, Bahamas. He would make tuxedos, wedding dresses. He can make anything. And he taught my mother how to sew. And I remember growing up, I was kind of bigger than the other girls, so she would make clothes for me.
Aww.
And so fashion was always one of those things that I loved, but I never thought it could be a career for me. And so initially after I graduated, I was just like, okay, I like to write. So let me be a writer. And my first internship was at Upscale Magazine here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I really excelled. They only had an opening in the fashion department. I wanted to write politics. I wanted to be serious. They had an opening in the fashion department, and it just worked out.
Wow.
And while I was there, I was writing captions, and then I was writing cover stories. They were like, wow, you're really bright. You're really talented. And so by the end of it, I was, modeling in the magazine. I was writing all this stuff, and they wanted to hire me.
Wow.
But now I knew that I wanted to be a journalist and be a writer. And so I was like, let me move to New York, which is like the home of publishing and media.
Yeah.
And I found all the paid internships I could find. I ended up at New York Magazine. I was an intern there making $5.15 an hour. Mind you, at Upscale, it was completely unpaid. New York Magazine, $5.15 an hour, working like 3 days a week. So super broke, super poor. And then I got a job at Real Simple Magazine. I just wanted a full-time job. It was like a year and a half of interning for like no money, no health insurance, et cetera.
In New York.
In New York. Oh my gosh. And like staying with friends and staying with family. But then I got my first full-time job, but it wasn't the perfect job. So I was a researcher reporter at Real Simple Magazine.
Okay.
And while I was there, I was doing the fashion and I was doing beauty. I was like researching for their stories, but I could not get into the fashion department. They would be like, oh yeah, we're searching for a fashion editor, but they would hire somebody else or they would find somebody from outside. And I was like, oh, can you create a position for me? Can you create a fashion researcher position? And they were like, no.
I love that you're bold enough to ask, though.
I always asked. I'm sure I was wearing them out because I was like, can we do something? Can I get a raise? Can I get a promotion? And they were just like, sit right there and do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of looking around, seeing where else I could go, sending my resume to Vogue, trying to get informational interviews at Vogue. They told me they did not want to see me because I was not a candidate that they would be interested in. I was not getting anywhere with the Harvard degree and the internships I had done. I just could not get an even entry-level job at a fashion magazine. So that's when I decided, at the recommendation of one of my Harvard friends who helped me make a website, she was like, you should start a blog.
Wow.
And at the time, I was just writing about myself and me going shopping, and it was extremely boring until somebody wrote in and they were like, they sent a random picture. They were like, where can I find these socks? And because I was a researcher, I found them. And then I was like, oh, people were sending me questions about what are these bandage dresses girls are wearing? What are these red bottom shoes people are wearing? And so, I was like, Christian Louboutin shoes, the Hervé Leger dresses, which were big. And I really just found a niche for women who look like me and you, women and men who look like me and you, who were not being covered in traditional media. And it took off.
It did take off. And that was 2000. Wow, 20 years later.
20 years. It'll be 20 years in August.
Oh, my God. You got to do something big, Claire.
I know.
20 years?
Yeah.
That is no small feat. Like, I'm proud of you. I didn't realize it had been that long.
Yeah.
And what started off as no's from people that you probably look up to and wanted to really work for is what started your own brand. I love that. I don't want people to miss that because a lot of times we feel like we have to wait on other people to give us the opportunity when we can build it ourselves. Yeah. Shout out to your friend that said, we're going to build this website.
Yeah. And I was afraid. I was afraid to do it. I was working a full-time job. I had heard people getting fired from their jobs for creating blogs. So it was really a risk.
That's so true. Yeah.
And I really just had a great boss who looked the other way because Lord knows I was definitely blogging from my desk. I did take my lunch breaks to blog, and over the weekends I would, schedule a bunch of posts over the weekends. But it took off an event. I'm really condensing this story. It probably took about 2 years before people started stopping me on the train like, hey, you can have my seat. You're a fashion bomb. Okay. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't work. I can't go to work every day. I can't commute every day. Let me get out of here.
So 2 years from starting is when you realize this is like it, and I can give it my 100%.
That's not when I started doing it full time, but that's when I was like, I need to shift, and I can't go to this job every day anymore. Because after 2 years, that's when I had snuck in. Okay, so I was sneaking into all these things. I had read Kamorley Simmons' book, Fabulosity, which was my only blueprint for what to do to get into fashion. I was not getting invited to anything. The best I could do is go to a museum and cover it, but I was not privy to any fashion events. But because I worked at a magazine, I did know that when New York Fashion Week was coming. And I knew, like, when the Baby Fat show was going on, there were editors at my magazine who were invited, but I didn't have an invite.
Got it.
And Kamorley was like, gate crash the show.
And you're like, bet.
So I'm like, okay.
I'm going to crash the show.
But the crazy thing is, I was the only blogger. Like, I was one of the first bloggers at New York Fashion Week. So the bigger platforms at the time, like Young Black and Fabulous, Concrete Loop, Gossip, they would link back to me because I had these exclusive pictures. And I had no idea that me and my digital camera were like the first bloggers at Baby Fat. And I was crazy. so green. I was so excited that I was taking pictures with everybody. Like, you can go back and look at the pictures. It's like me and Monica, me and Tiana Taylor, Serena Williams. I'm literally like doing this with everybody because I'm like, if this is the last fashion show I go to, I'm gonna make sure I take pictures of it.
I love that.
But yeah,
I want to know what were some of the roadblocks that you ran into as you were building Fashion Bomb Daily to what we know it to be now?
It's access. Always access. It's still access.
I was about to say, is that still a thing?
It's still a thing. Wow. Yeah.
What do you think that is, Claire?
You know, sometimes it's that I'm not asking the right way. Like this morning, because sometimes I'm like, they're racist. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then sometimes it's like, you didn't ask. So this morning I was like, okay, let me apply for press accreditation. For New York, they don't do that anymore. But for Paris and Milan, they do that. Okay. So I'm like, let me apply for press accreditation, do it the right way. Same thing with the Golden Globes. Same thing with CFDA awards or even the Met Gala. I don't think I applied for press accreditation until like this year.
Oh, wow. And it happened.
And it happened.
You did the Met, you did the Golden Globes.
Right.
So oh, my goodness.
But, you know, in the past, I have reached out to brands and they're not always receptive. They don't always understand our audience. I don't know if they don't know our buying power because obviously our buying power is high.
Very high.
But I feel like they don't feel the need to cater to us. Like, they don't need to have a Black woman in a Chanel ad for Black women to buy Chanel.
You're right.
Like, we will patronize these brands even if they don't necessarily respect our dollar or respect us as consumers.
Right.
I think things are changing. Like, I did see Louis Vuitton, their recent ambassadors are like all Black.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, wow.
It's like Skepta and some footballer. I'm like, okay. Like, I think Louis Vuitton definitely gets it. Obviously with Pharrell and Virgil Abloh and like all the Black creative directors they've had. Yeah. They get it.
They do.
But I don't know if a lot of brands have always gotten it.
Right, yeah.
But now they're starting to understand. And I hope that Fashion Bomb Daily was a part of the reason why they're starting to shift and be more inclusive because when I first started, it was not like that at all.
Right, I can imagine. I can imagine it also leaving you with a sense of defeat, like just feeling like, man, I've climbed this ladder, I'm here, my brand is known worldwide, and I still can't get in certain doors. Yeah. You know, like I even for me, like as an actor, I'm like, millions of people watch me on TV, I'm on the #1 show, and I go to my own networks events, and it's like, I'm like, wow, it's not a good feeling, you know, when you've worked really hard to get to where you are and thinking that you would have access, and not in a, I need to have access to all these things, not in that type of sense, but I've worked really hard,
Yeah.
and you would think that comes along with it, and it
Right.
doesn't sometimes.
Yeah. But you know how good God is?
Talk about it.
Because nothing can stop his plans for you.
Yeah.
No man can stop his plans for you. We have paparazzi photographers right now in Paris who are sending us footage, inviting us to collaborate for all these different shows. There are people like Jeremy who
Love
send us
Jeremy.
footage from the show. So it's like, I don't need to be in there as long as we're getting the footage.
Getting the content.
So there
yeah.
is a way, I've found a way around it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to look at it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also when I first started, I focused on Black-owned brands because, you know, we are a Black-owned
Yeah.
brand. So I was like, okay, the only shows I'm going to aspire to go to are Baby Fat, Tracy Reese. They're only a handful, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of still the same way.
Yeah.
But, you know, always hoping to expand, hoping people can feel our presence. And I feel really good about this year.
Yeah,
I feel like this
good.
is going to be the year where, like, hopefully all the doors open up.
Yeah. And now that you're putting in those credential
Right.
submissions, I'm sure, because I'm glad you like it's the way I was asking. And sometimes I like the way you reflected, like, wait, let's take inventory and figure out what is really the issue
Yeah.
here. Is it because they don't want me there, or is it because I'm not asking the right way?
Right.
That was
'Cause
good.
Sending the emails or the DMs is not necessarily how everybody operates.
For sure.
Like some in France, if they know that I'm accredited press, then they'll let me come. And then some brands you have to just be a consumer.
Yeah.
You have to buy the brand, and then they'll give you a ticket. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
true as well. When you look back at the version of you now, what do you feel most proud about, whether it's professionally or personally?
what do I feel most proud about?
Because this is 20 years, baby.
Yeah,
A lot has happened.
just overcoming a lot of adversity.
Yeah.
You know, and refusing to be better, refusing to accept no, creating my own seat at the table when they wouldn't give me a seat at the table. Just like the fact that I didn't quit.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the brands that I mentioned that were around when I first started, they're not here anymore. Or they didn't go onto Instagram. They didn't, they wanted to stay in the blog space, or they literally just quit. Like, we know so many people who are like, I'm not doing this anymore, and I'm going to start something else.
Yeah.
And so I think just my tenacity, my perseverance, I'm not going to quit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to quit. But I've learned when you want to quit, just take a nap maybe, learn to
Yeah.
rest, but
Sleep
not
on it,
but
for
not
sure.
quit. Because I do want to find, my goal was to have an exit. And 20 years would be beautiful, right? But if
Yeah.
it's not happening, like, I'm always down for God's timing. Like, whenever it's God's time for me to stop, then I'm ready to do that. But until that time, then I'm going to keep rocking with Fashion Bomb.
No, for sure. Now, Fashion Bomb Daily grew from a blog into a business spanning editorial, e-commerce, brand partnerships, and live events. When did you realize this was bigger than just content?
When did I realize it was bigger than just content? I think maybe with Fashion Bombshell of the Day, when people started submitting for Fashion Bombshell of the Day. But then also, I think I had my first, I used to call it Cocktails with Claire. Now it's called
Yes.
Convos with Claire. But I had my first Cocktails with Claire, and I was just like, oh, let's have readers come and we'll meet and greet and we'll have cocktails. And every event would sell out. We'd put out the tickets and people would just buy them, and just seeing that Eventbrite notification go off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that first event that we had in 2013, I was like, there's something here. And just always continuing to diversify and seeing, like, what is the void in the industry?
Yeah.
Okay, there aren't models of color on the runway. Let's have our own runway show. There aren't Black designers showing during New York Fashion Week, the Bomb Fashion Show. Okay, there are people who come to New York Fashion Week, they don't have anything to do, so let's have an event.
Yeah.
Or Black designers don't have mentorship or young, let's say emerging designers, they don't have mentorship. Let's create an e-commerce platform. So always trying to be the solution. When I see problems in the fashion industry, I try to be that solution and use my platform to try to elevate and uplift other people.
I love that. I love that. Now, I know for me as a content creator, in the beginning, I was doing everything on my own. I was writing, I was editing, I was shooting it, everything. How was that shift from going, this is just Claire, to now I have a team helping do all, you got people all across the world.
We do.
You know, like, what was that shift? And like, did you, as a person, this is your baby. What was it like? Okay, now I'm going to allow other people to have a hand in this thing that I've built from the ground up.
From the beginning, we had interns. I remember we had intern contests at first.
Wow.
So every year it would be a reader competition for who could be the next Fashion Bomb intern. And so really kind of from the beginning, I had people helping me.
Yeah.
And then we started to find different contributors. Like there are 2 girls from Brazil who run our Instagram page. So I run the Instagram page kind of in the morning, late at night, but they run it in the evenings. And then we have a different team that does advertising. We have a different team for events. But I think as the needs come, you know, you kind of fill in where you can.
Yeah.
And then just get the best people that you can afford as you continue to scale.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you learn the difference between being like hands-on and holding on too tight? Are you one of those people that like, no, I need to be a part of every little thing?
No, I can't because I need to have a life.
Mama's got to live a life too.
You know, I don't want to be on my phone all day. I don't want to, I mean, I really don't want to be a 50-year-old woman. I mean, not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm like, I want to be sitting down somewhere on a beach.
Listen, put me on the beach, right?
You know, like I don't like, and I do think it's important to mentor the next generation, to try to bring up someone else who's interested, and thankfully because of our platform and how many people that, you know, all of our followers, we have a lot of people who are always willing to do red carpets for us. Help us with social media. We always have like people who are willing to help. And even I keep going back to this photographer in Paris who's sending us all this content. It's not perfect. He you know, he mixes up the him and her. I think he called Jaden Smith a her the other day. I'm like, no, like the pronouns are all wrong, but it's content. So I'm like, and we like to have the perfect grid as well.
Yes.
But I'm just like, people don't care. People don't even read the captions. Like you could literally be like, she is wearing La Pointe, and they'll be like, where's it from? And I'm just like,
La Pointe.
Right. But you know, I think I cannot be obsessed with perfection. Like it's impossible, it's unattainable. And at the end of the day, we put our readers first. So whatever they want to see, that's what we're going to give them, even if it's not tied up in a pretty bow. And sometimes it's better that way.
I feel like the social media is moving more and more further away from the perfect content.
Right.
They want to see the real.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my most popular posts was me with no makeup on. And I'm like, really?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I love it. Somebody was talking, I did a interview the other day and they were like, you taught me how to put a wig on. She was like, I would never get online with like putting my hair. And I'm like, I mean, it is what it is. Real. This is real life.
Vulnerable. And people love that.
Yeah, no, for sure. What does ownership mean to you? I know in our culture, I feel like in the most recent years, we've been driving home ownership, own your things, build it, create it, because that's what everyone else is doing. We need to own our own things as well. What does it mean to you, especially in this space?
What does ownership mean to me? I think it's important for us to maintain this infrastructure going on between businesses. Like I think back to Black Wall Street and how powerful that was, and all the Black-owned businesses that were raised to the ground. And I'm just like, I want us to keep it in the community if possible, but obviously always welcome collaborators. I mean, our team is multiracial, international.
I love that,
You know, but I think it's important for us to own our story and our narrative because we do have a unique point of view and a unique take. And how Vogue might cover Pharrell's Louis Vuitton show is different from how we would cover it, you know? Like, I think I saw a video, it was Pharrell's final walk for Louis Vuitton, and it was like classical music, and I'm like, okay, on Fashion Bomb Daily, we're putting frontin', you know? Because it's just, you know, our music, our style, like the way that we see the world is different, and that's okay.
It is, yes.
You know, but you can't just keep not taking our culture, but it's like we should have a say in how we're represented.
No, for sure.
The sounds and the vibes and everything. So that's really important to me.
Very. I love that. Now, you're running a brand that is, everybody knows when they simultaneously, Fashion Bomb Daily and Claire Sulmers is like hand in hand.
People don't know me though.
Really?
No.
I feel like they do. You don't
They
think
don't.
so?
People are like, I didn't know you were a woman. I thought you were a man. Like, people don't know anything about me. They think I live in Atlanta. They
What?
don't.
Because you are here. I feel like you are here like
I
a
am
lot.
here quite a bit. I was
Yeah.
just here like 10 days ago.
Literally.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I guess because I know, I feel like everybody knew like this is your jam.
People don't know me.
People don't
I'm
know
like,
me.
I'm in the, if you go to their profile description, I'm right there.
Right there.
They don't know. Some people do.
Yeah. So the people that have you been able to separate like this is who Claire is and this is the business? Or I guess you really haven't had a hard time with that because you don't think anybody knows. I think more people know than you think.
People don't know me. I mean, I do think that this year is the year of the pivot where I'm going to focus more on my personal brand and the things that I want to do. I have another book in me. I want to do TV. I want to do more books, more projects, just like do more Claire stuff, have my own podcast.
Yes.
You know what I
Combos
mean?
with Claire. Yeah.
Combos with Claire. Yeah,
Yes.
there's so much more that I want to do. And so, you know, I think a slight separation of Claire and Fashion Bomb Daily is underway. I won't abandon my baby until it has a good home, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah.
I love that. Now I want to know more of a personal tip. You are very busy. I feel like you've always got something going on. How do you, as women, one boss woman to another boss woman, how do you pour into Claire? And what does that day-to-day look like from running this business and then also taking time for Claire?
I don't take time for Claire.
Claire.
I'm lying. I'm kidding.
I'm going to get you.
Okay, every morning I do try to work out.
Okay.
At least 20 minutes. If I don't have anything to do all day, I will be in the gym for like 90 minutes. I got my little Apple Watch here. I'm going for it. I'm lifting weights. I'm running. I'm doing all the things.
That's why the legs looking like.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I mean, for example, for my birthday, what did I do? Okay, my birthday was the day after the Golden Globes. I slept in, had a nice dinner with my boo, little bubble bath, you know? But I need more of that. I definitely need like a spa day. I need a massage. I need all those things. And I feel like you're really good at doing this. I'm not good at doing it.
Yeah.
at
Like I
all.
schedule massages at least every other week.
That's good.
Like because I carry all the stress in my shoulders. And I have to. Like it's just one of those things where I have to like take care of Crystal.
right.
You know, it's so much. And then with working now, like that's a part of the recovery. And I look at it as like this is where I'm taking care of my body, but also like having a moment to put the phone down,
Right.
not respond, not answer. It's a reason to escape. So I would challenge you to definitely take time for that.
I'm trying. My goal, one of my goals, I wrote down 300 goals this year, inspired by
Yes.
Steve Harvey. But one of my goals is to take a vacation because it's funny. I don't take vacations. I just don't. And I would have assistants who I'd be like, do this. And they're like, I'm taking a vacation. I'm like, how? How do my assistants have vacation time?
Like what's a
how do you
vacation?
have time to go on vacation? I don't have time to go on vacation.
Right.
I think that, unfortunately, for some Black boss ladies, like we are pioneers in our field. We have a lot on our shoulders. So things that we're doing are not just for us. They're for the culture. They're for the young girls looking up to us. And so even though I can be exhausted or, you know, frustrated I didn't get into this show or that show, I'm like, I have to keep showing up because my job is not done.
Wow.
You know, like the calling that God has put on my life. I have not completed that assignment yet.
Yeah.
So I'll take a day. Yeah, I'll go to Nobu and, you know, luxuriate a little bit, but then it's
Yeah.
back to work.
Back to it. Yeah.
Figuring out that balance is important. And so I'm still striving to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that, have you experienced any burnout over the years where you're like, okay, I'm in over my head here?
No, I don't burn out, honey. I just
That's
keep
amazing.
going. Like I
Honey.
do take naps. I do sleep in. I do watch mindless television. I don't even want to tell you what I watch on TV. It is terrible.
What do you watch?
It's like every housewife show, every reality show, every Love After Lockup.
Love After Lockup. That's your guilty pleasure. I love it.
It gets
that.
worse. Okay, there are these body cam videos. Police body cam. It's like people acting up in the airport and getting locked up. All during Christmas holiday, I could not stop watching them. I was like,
There's a TV show with
no,
body cam?
it's all on YouTube.
On YouTube. Okay.
Yeah, and every YouTuber who's reviewing the reality shows, like that's kind of how it's like mindless entertainment. Maybe I'll laugh a little bit, but that's kind of how I relax. But burnout, I don't know. I just really feel like I have something to do, and like we don't have a Black Vogue.
We don't.
We had Suede magazine that shut down. We had Vibe Vixen that doesn't exist anymore. We don't have anything for us.
Yeah.
So I don't. I'm just like holding myself to the task that you have to keep going, even if you're tired. Take a break, take a nap, and just keep it going.
Yeah.
You know.
You talk about the books. You talk about I want to get into TV and film. You talk about magazines. Is a magazine something that is a goal for Fashion Bomb Daily?
No, I think print is done. Print is done. I think that Fashion Bomb can keep going as it is. I mean, I think having like some sort of, everybody's telling me I should do a Fashion Police style show, or everybody's telling me we should do.
Because there's nothing like that anymore.
No, not for us.
That would be good. And get like, oh my goodness, you should do that. And
There's
get like you
I have
and like
so
a
many ideas,
comedian,
Crystal.
somebody that's funny. Like you,
Yeah.
oh, and I could, ooh. Miss
Okay.
Lawrence. I can see you, Miss Lawrence, and like somebody else. All of y'all
Yeah.
get together. Ashaunna, can you see that?
Where's Ashaunna?
Yes. I'm serious.
I think Fashion Bomb Daily as a vehicle, because of the red carpets, because of the litany of celebrity events that we see, like there will always be a place for that day to day, you know, your fix of celebrity style and news. But I think it's really about how do we expand upon this platform?
Yeah.
How do we continue to bring, you know, interesting and new things, unique things to our followers.
I love that. That's why I can understand why you don't stop and why you keep going, because there is so much in this space and so many voids to be filled. So I understand. And you're
we
creative.
need it.
We do need it.
Like Black people
do.
in fashion, who's gonna cover, you know, like Vogue, they've done, I hate to keep bringing up Vogue. God bless Vogue, they're great. But they don't cover Jada Cheeves and Dusty or.
No.
Like there are people in our culture who are amazing. They have great style.
Yeah.
And, you know.
That's so true.
So I'm the platform for them, hopefully.
Oh, man. I love that. As you're looking ahead to everything that you want to do, what are you most excited about?
My book.
The book. Okay. Can you tell us, like, what the book is going to be about?
Well, okay. Did you do the 2016 challenge?
The 2016? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I
You
did.
did?
Yeah, I posted.
So
I was
10 year-
actually shocked. Because, you know, you go back and you're like, oh, Lord, like it's always something you're like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I was actually proud of 2016 Crystal.
I wore a lot of superhero costumes. It was like a lot of capes. I'm like, what are you doing? What is that? What are you wearing?
I think I had a cape too. I got to
I
go
had
back.
like a few capes.
I had a cape.
It was like a jumpsuit with a cape. I'm like, Claire, my friends are standing right there. I'm like, how could you let me?
They probably had a
Leave
cape
the
on too.
house.
Right.
But I wrote my first book in 2016. I self-published. So this time I want to get a publisher for it. But my first book was a memoir, self-help book called The Bomb Life, My Brand, My Terms. And it was just about my origin story. You know, how I started Fashion Bomb. And if you want to follow in my steps, you can too. And some pictures, etc. So there have been a lot of things that have happened since then. I cut my locks. We were disabled. Then we got our page back. You know, the Met Gala CFDA Awards, a lot of things have happened. So it's really like a part two to that.
I forgot about the locks.
You forgot about my locks?
Yes.
Yeah, I had blonde locks.
You sure did.
People still ask me about them. They're like, I miss the locks. And I'm like, it has been 10
I
years.
see it right now. Wow. Yeah.
They're stuck on those locks,
Wow.
honey. In 2016 was our first award show. We gave an award to Tiana Taylor and Justine Skye and Tracy Reese. First award show, I did it with Ty Hunter. And
Shout out Ty.
yeah, I love Ty.
Yes.
So I'm like, we need to keep doing it. We just need to keep going.
Yeah.
Keep getting bigger and better.
I love that. I love that. Well, we are excited to support you however we can in the
Yes.
KIPS community. I'm excited for you. Thank you for coming to sit
Thank
down
you.
with me. Yes, absolutely. Today I am wearing an Heirloom tulle skirt. This is one of my favorite skirts. I'm gonna wear it with everything. My top is by Zara. My jacket is by Saint Laurent. Shoes by Christian Louboutin. Cartier jewelry, Soul Gems bracelet, and my earrings are Saint Laurent. This episode was a reminder to always have the audacity to dream big. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Keep It Positive Sweetie Show. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode with someone who could use a little positivity. And as always, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and keep it positive, sweetie. I'll see you guys next time.